Okay, so I mentioned that Uptown Funk is a really tricky song to approach because I feel like it does everything it's supposed to do, and coming at it from a different angle seems kind of weird. I was wondering whether or not some sort of Bobby McFerrin, very vocal based approach might be the way in. I think of things in terms of a way in, and a really good example of this is that sometimes the way that you crack a problem like that is you just do something else. So whatever it was I was doing last night, I suddenly had an idea which just kicked off a chain reaction of a whole load of other ideas. I think the key thing is I was thinking, all right, it's all very well thinking of a thing that you can do that sounds good, like creating groove using voice as an instrument. But there are some kind of logistics to actually covering the song. There are some points in the song that you need to recreate somehow. There's like lots of build-ups, there's lots of tension you need to create, and you need instruments that are going to do that. You can decide, and I've kind of done this in the past, you can decide you're going to do the whole thing on kazoo, and then you just realize, oh yeah, kazoo just doesn't have the power to, carry this thing off. So I was last night just thinking about that logistical problem. Okay, like what instrument are we going to do? I was also thinking I'd like it to be fairly minimal. Generally speaking, I want to try and keep these tracks and these videos fairly minimal because otherwise it's going to take me 100 years. But it's also the case that the original track is quite dense and really well produced. And so in order to come up with something different, it makes sense to pick something minimal. What instrument is going to be able to do as much of the heavy lifting for that particular track as possible? And I thought, how about Hammond organ? How about just kind of standard B3 Hammond organ, particularly with some saturation, distortion, overdrive, something like that. A Hammond organ is an extraordinarily versatile instrument, and it's particularly good for filling up the mid-range. So if you want something that is minimal but yet can make a big sound, definitely something to play with. So that's something I'm going to try. So that was the starting point. And then a whole bunch of other ideas came off the back of that. One of the things that I'm doing in this particular episode, it's going to be kind of rambling and incoherent, I'm sorry about that, but I'm trying to figure out what the format is. And I feel like trying to come up with a new subgenre each time might be a fun thing to do. And I had this idea of kind of Satanic Lounge music, but Satanic Lounge music as a particular angle. And I'm also going to be doing a video of this, so I started getting ideas about what the video might be like. And I just kept getting this image of Christopher Walken, because, we've got this sort of 80s New York thing, and I just feel, and also a song about dancing. Yeah, anyway, those are some rambling ideas. Yeah, let's see where they go.